Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna to show you with React Native CRUD with API list, API with API create, with API remove and API edit. អូខេសួស្តីអ្នកនាងខ្ញុំនឹងបង្ហាញអ្នកនាងបន្តទៀតទាក់ទងជាមួយទៅនឹង React Native យើងមាន feature ជាមួយទៅនឹង cost feature គឺយើងនឹងប្រើ React Native code ហើយ integrate ជាមួយនឹង API ដែលយើងមានស្រាប់នៅក្នុងនោះគឺយើងមានទាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង feature cost that this is the cost API that list or call from yes from the server, so I use API. Okay, this API. Okay, https://nitc.cloverapp.io/API. Okay, I use method get. Use method get, and here is the response from the API. Okay, data and array. Okay, array JSON, right? Array JSON. Yeah. Here, all cost, right? Just and one more, I have API create. So this is the API create. We use this API and method both, and here the parameter JSON that we need to pass to create a cost that we want. Okay, we have a property name, what a code that we want to define, what we want to create, and we need the key of price. So what is the price of the cost that you want to add, and we have description also and status, right? And here the response is say if the cost create success, so the server will the API will respond on key mistake and in success. Okay, and I have API remove, and here is the API remove. We need to pass method delete, and with the parameter, so we need to pass the ID last that we want to remove. Okay, we use method delete, and last one, API edits. Okay, all the API are the same, but the different with the method. So if I use I want to create, I use method post, and I want you to get, I use a method. I want to list all costs, I use method get, and if I want to remove, I use method delete, and I want to edit, I use method post. So it is different only method. So this is the API that I have designed like this. Okay,បន្តទៀតគឺយើងអាចចូល we can go to app.js ណាយើងអាចមើល file នៅក្នុង app.js បានគឺជា root project របស់យើងអញ្ចឹងយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមឲ្យមើលតទៀតអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំបានសរសេរពីមុនខ្លះ I have right before គឺយើងមាន feature list cost you okay, feature list cost and delete. Okay, we have integrated already. Okay,មើលភាសាទៀតគឺ here is the library or component that we have import from the top of the file, that we have import from React Native, RCOs, and React also. Here is the main function called app, right? And here is the block of the style that I have to define, and you style.create. Okay. Here the component of the React Native that I have to import from. We have Safari component, view, text, Safari, scroll view, touch opacity, text import, and modal. Okay. And here the app con app, so hooks. Okay, I write in hook function. So here the main function app, and it has two state, list and visible. Okay, here is the get list that I have to get the data from the API. As I show you here, the URL that we need to create that we use to create list from the API, and I pass method get to request list cost from the API. And after that, it will call the function, and here is the rest.data that you see here, rest.data and data.respond.data. So I assign to a state called setter. Okay, set list. Okay, set list is the setter of the state list. Okay, so I use this state for define data to the list state variable. Okay, here's the get list. So after it have data, okay, I have rendered it in the content scroll view. Okay, in the content scroll view, I have to define like this: list.map, okay, item, and in index, and then return. What I return, I have to define a view web container, and I want to access name. I use item.name. I want to get price. I use item.price. dot description. Okay, and here the condition that I want to define what the status. If the status equals 1, I use the style this, and L I use style this, right? Okay, and here is the condition also. I check, so if the status equal 1, okay, I return text enable, and L I return visible. So this is how to render list. Okay, and rendering list using map. Okay, using map. Okay, and continue, and about button delete, btn delete, I have defined like that. Okay, in the container here. After I click when I click btn button delete, okay, on press I call handle delete. In handle delete, I pass the parameter. So I use item dot cost id, which cost id that I want to remove. So as you know, here is the list that we have cost id. So I pass the parameters by the function handle delete. Okay. Okay, and this is the API that we want to use call remove. Okay, we pass method delete. When we call the function use RCOs, and then the API will remove where ID that we have to click. Okay, and continue. Okay, and continue. We will continue with the feature create. Okay, feature create cost. I have to define a model to pop up, and then have a text input, and we have a cost name, we have cost price, and we have description and status also. So when I on chain in this text input, okay, I will collect, okay, data to assign state like cost name, cost price, description, and status. And after that, when I click button cell, okay, I will collect all the data that I have checked in the form, pass to the API create, right? Okay, let's start in the model. Here is how to define the model here. Model, okay. Okay, model is component that allow our UI pop up, okay, like pop up. Okay, we have animation slide, and visible is the property to define a model that is visible or not, okay, visible or not. Okay, so if it's true, it will pop up in fall if we close the model. Okay, in the model we have defined the content as you see. So I have the title of the close, and if we click the btn model, btn, if you click close, so I call a handle visible model, right? Visible. And here is the tick input. All right, tick input, username, a cost name, cost price, description, and status. And here the style that I have to define in the bottom of the style. You can see, okay, how to define padding, border color, and border edges, and matching top 10, right? Okay, come back. Okay, continues, and we need to define more. Okay, we can say on chain. Yes, on chain. Okay, and the first we need we should declare a state if we want to that we need. So I need a state one a cost name, cost name, and set cost name, and use state equal empty string. Okay, initial empty string to the cost name, and one more, and continue cost price. So I can set cost price. And by default, initial of the right of the state, I can define 0. Yes, 0. Continue constant. Okay, state description. This description. Okay, we can set this description. Okay, and use state. Okay, initial of the state description, I can initial empty string also. And the last one call status. Status, set status. Status, and set status. Set status. And use state. Okay, By default, I need to define one. Okay, in the status. Okay, here the four stat. I need to a new declare. Okay, for to get the text on chain from the user. Okay, okay, and after that, in the text input, we have even on chain on chain on chain text, right? On chain text. Okay, I can define function. Okay, on chain. Okay, on chain name. Okay, on chain name and on chain price. On chain name, on chain price. Okay, and on chain description. Description and on chain status. Okay, on chain status. So I have defined different function name all the input text input status. So and we have a property one value. Okay, value value equal what the value do we want to define here is cost name. Okay, state cost name, right? Cost 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 name and then cost price cost price cost name cost price and here is a cost description. We can say description. We have state description and the last one state status. Okay. Path and state status. Okay, we have defined the property value and property on chain. So now we need to define all the functions that have to define this. So we have four functions: on chain name, and on chain price, on chain description, and on chain status. And okay, four functions that I need to define. Okay. I need to declare con one on chain name. Okay. On chain name, right? Okay, we can copy and paste on chain price. Okay, and we can copy and paste on chain description. And the last one is on chain status. Okay, on chain name. Okay, it have a value. So I need to alert. Okay, what value? Okay, value. Go. Okay, so the value is the value mean it return of when the user on check the thing input, right? Okay, okay, and we can use our stat that we have declared on the top. So we need to use set name, set cost name, right? Value, set cost name and value, and price we can value set price, set cost price. Okay, value. Continue set description. Okay, value. Okay, value attach, right? Value. And the last one set status. Okay, here value also. That's status. Okay, you see? Okay. So if you want to make sure that when we change, you get this variable that how this all is variable assign or not. Okay, have assign or not. We can display it with the tick component. I will display here. Text. Okay, I copy and paste with username. Oh, sorry, cost name. Cost name. Okay, and then cost price, and then description. No, this description. this description and status. The last one is status. Okay, status. So I will display with the component tick to make sure that when we on change the tick input, that I that does it's right to it assigned to our step or not. Okay. Okay, let me start. Okay, for example, C++ and cost price $100 and description, basic. Okay, basic programming and chapter 1 or 0. So as you see here is the state that it store the value that we on change in the tick input, right? Okay, so now we can implement with the btn cell. Okay, with btn cell. When we click btn, so we will collect this data passed to the API create. So okay, here is the API create that how to demo use. We need 4 parameters to create a cost. To create a cost. So when we click btn new on btn new. Here is btn new. In the model, right? We can change handle cell handle cell handle cell. Okay, handle cell. So when we click handle cell, we need to define the function handle cell. Handle cell for here. Okay, and then we can use this RCO's module, RCO's library. Okay, we call the API to create a class. So as you know, we need to use the method both and 4 parameters. So I need to define method both and the parameter. So we can use where data the parameter equal parameter object JSON, right? We can copy this. Okay. We need to pass dynamic of the cost name that we have on-chain cost name, and then number cost price, okay, number cost price. This is the condition if it's undefined, if we pass the integer the 0, okay. Description, so we can pass to the description step. This description, okay, and then status. Status also we can use this syntax, okay. Status, okay, status. Okay, and then we use data is the parameter. We can pass here data, okay, pass, okay, there data, okay, data. Okay. So after that, when we click btn cell, we will pass this to the API to create a cost, and we have a property header, content type, content type, application JSON, okay, application slash JSON, okay, JSON. So when it responded the API, so we can call getlist again to fix more data that we have to. Yes, we have to create news. After we get list, so I will call set visible. Set visible is the state to set make sure the visible model is visible or not. So if I set it for, mean that we close flow model. Okay, now let I close and I click new, and then I will change this one. For example, C#, okay, right, ATH and window form and price, okay, and chapter 1. So I click btn cell. It will use this parameter path to the API, and then after that it get list and close the model. Okay, so we will see the C# that we have to create. Click. Okay, now we have to create successful with the API. So I use when I click the btn new, so and then I import. So the C#, okay, price and the description and the status. You see? Okay, so we click news again. So its data will here. So if we want to clear, so how to clear form, we can after we create success, we can clear form. So or when we visible, we can clear form also. So clear we can use a subname to empathy string, okay, and set bright and set description, set bright to 0 to 0, and set description to empathy string and set status to 0 also, yes, or 2 to 1 also, yes, okay, 1. Here is we want to clear, okay, clear when we say success and we want to get form, okay. Okay, here is we done with the feature news. Okay, now we need to feature edit. Okay, feature edit. Okay, feature edit. So I want to create again. For example, I create cost React JS. Okay, price of React JS $100. I can say client side, Okay, user interface, build user interface and set us 0. Okay, go. Okay, now I have to create already with the React.js price and description and status. Okay, you see, so this is for example that we need to create a cost easy. So the first one we need to we need to know how many parameters that the API need. So the API need 4 parameters. So I need to define 4 parameters also to 4 state. Okay, 4 step. Cost name, cost price, description, and status, right? And status. And we make sure that what is the URL that we want to create and what is the method and what is the parameter. So and we make sure what is the parameter we need to design. Sometimes we need design, take import, take area, check bug all that is up to the parameter that we require, right? Sometimes integer, sometimes floating, sometimes boolean. So okay, this is the parameter that we need to create a cost. So only key name, price, description, status. Name we can be a string, price we can be integer or floatings. Description we can be a string, and status we have only 1 and 0, right? Okay. Okay, and continue, I can apply with the feature edit. So when we click edit, so we need to update which a cost that we want to update. So we only click edit, so I will pop up the model. Okay, the first one we need to go to list. Where is the list that handle where is the btn edit? So I need to go to find here is the btn edit, right? Btn edit. Okay, btn edit. Okay, when I click it and edit, I will set visible true, mean that I will show visible true for the update. After that, here is the item that we need click. We click item 1, so we will get a parameter item 1. We click item 2, we will get the parameter from the item 2. So this item is very important to write to change our state here that is store, right? So item. Okay, I will use set name and pass the item parameter object dot name. Why use dot name? Because of the parameter name is the name of the cost, right? Okay, item dot name, and I will copy pass and set continue set price, set description. Okay, set this script. Oh, sorry, guys. Set description here, and set test, Okay, and item dot price, and continue. Item dot description and item dot status. Item dot description and item dot status. Okay, and item dot status. So, okay. So when I click edit C#, okay, you see here the C#. Okay, C#. Okay, C# in information, right? Yes, information. Okay, we can pass the string. So we will see. Okay. Again, I click DJ Go. So you see, DJ Go price. Okay, okay. I close. I click PHP edit. So the tab will show PHP. So mean that we get the tab from the item that we click to fill in our input form. And when we click, when we know we edit or we add new. Okay, we add new. So I can I create a parameter called hidden ID. Okay. Hidden hidden ID hidden ID high ID. Okay, or we can say high ID. Okay, set high ID high ID. Use that by default is null, for example. Okay, for example, if I click btn edits, I will define this value. Set ID I call item dot high ID, or we can say set cost ID cost ID. Okay, we have a step more high ID. When we click a btn show new, I will set this one to none. Where we click use. New. Okay, here handle visible model. New cost. Okay, this one I will set high ID to none because this is the flag that we know when the form is create or form is edit. I can use the parameter high ID. When I click from this btn, I set it's null. But when I click this edit btn, I will define it the value that we have clicked, right? Okay. Again click. Okay, we see. Okay, so I will show the ID also. ID, which ID we need to show. Okay, I will show in this component. I pass a high ID. For example, if I click btn use, so we now see a high ID. But if I click btn edit, so we see is the ID. Okay, 206. Okay, I click digit goes, we see 205. So it's the ID. So mean that is edit. So I can define of different btn title. So when it's save new and when it's update. Okay, and I use this parameter, okay, this state, high ID. If ID is equal now, okay, if ID equal now, I use this one like this. Is ID equal now? Mean that what? Mean that say new. Okay, smart equal now. If now, mean that I say new, say new, sell. Sell or L mean update. Okay, so we will see the title. Okay, okay. Again, you can see when I click btn news, this show sell, and when I click edit, the btn show update. Okay, correct. After that, when we click this one, we have to divide two function to check condition. So when we click btn, okay, btn is the same handle cell, but handle cell we have two definition. Okay, if okay, I have if hidden id high id equal now. So if you call this API, mean that we create new, right? Mean that we create new. L mean that we update. So we can copy paste it the same. It just add one parameter. So I copy paste here. Here is the block L. Here is the block execute when we click when the feature update. So in the feature update, so we go to the API. We need to cost ID. So cost ID. Pass the cost ID in a parameter of the JSON. So we need to pass cost ID. And what the cost ID? Cost ID is the high ID. Okay. ID here, and I save, and I need to change the API. The API we use a different method. We call method put to update put. Okay, like this. So I think that enough. Okay, enough. So I will show you when we click update. So we will go to the block and pass the parameter cost ID. mean that which is we update cost, which we update cost by ID. So okay, let's start. I click btn edit I React.js and I edit I bright to 19. Yes, and here is I remove some text and I go to update. Okay. Okay. Now we can see the list have update because we have changed to bright and change description, right? Okay. I have edit C sharp. For example, here C sharp. Okay, I edit bright to 100. Okay, and as the third, I edit to 20. Okay, and save. Okay, you see? Okay, the tag here how refreshed by the get list again. Okay, so now I have to show you already with 4 or 5 feature. The one is the first a feature list, and second edit and edit and remove, right? And create new also. Okay. Okay, now go to review again. I will remove this one from our content. Okay, I will remove this. Okay. So here is the form news. If we click BTN news and if we click edit, so it go edit. Okay, so edit. So okay, that's all. That's all. Okay. A list, edit, remove, edit, delete, and new class. Yes, a new class. Okay. Okay, so here is a API list. Here is a API edit, and here is a API save or update. Okay, save or update.